Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Rolling.
Good morning, people. This is Saturday morning. We're at the Ted and Ed TV channel. How are you doing today? Good morning, Ted. I know it's kind of early for us to get started here, so we don't expect a lot of viewers to show up, but we're here. So,
Yeah, good morning, everybody, and good morning, Mr. Bishop. I'll tell you, man, it is so much stuff that's going on today. Well, actually, this past week. I mean, we had our show Wednesday, and now it's stuff that just, I mean, it is expanded to the max now because really, don't nobody really know what's going to happen to this 45, but 45 to sit up here looking for a chief of staff. Couldn't hire nobody. Didn't nobody want to come to the job. Chris Christie turned it down. And then this other young guy, 36 years old, turned it down. And then he decided that, hey, I'm going to get motivated. And who was the he was the consumer financial bureau director, plus the management and budget director. And so the thing about this Mulvaney guy, he's a ex-Tea Party congressman, and he's from the Freedom Caucus, which is supposed to be conservative. And he's been trying to slash these budgets like crazy. And that's a big thing, and he's really kind of manipulated the Protection Bureau because they sort of kind of alleviated some of the things for the people. And you got to keep your eye on this guy. I don't know, maybe Trump might be doing it because maybe he might be doing a little bit too much, and maybe he might think he got a little bit more power than what he has, and maybe 45 is trying to rein him in. He might be doing some things that Trump don't like, so he might want to try to rein him in and see what's going on with him, because he is sort of kind of out there, and so we'll see what's going to happen with that. He's going to be the acting chief of staff, but he's not going to be the chief of staff until probably January, when his other chief of staff is going to be the general. There's a story that's going around right now, man, that you heard about the Me Too movement?
everybody's heard about Me Too, man.
All right. Well, right now, CBS is giving money away like crazy. Their ex-CEO, who they gave something like $20-30 million or more to leave the company, just gave away another $20 million to 18 women organizations. So they're just spreading money around, trying to captivate these women, because they have had quite a few people in their organization that has done some abuses. Charlie Rose, the ex-CBA, I can't think of the guy's name, but he's been fired. Charlie Rose been fired, and now they just gave away $9.5 million. Have you ever seen this show called The Bull?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either, but it's spinned off from a movie, and I guess the star of the show did some type of harassment with one of the females, Eliza I think you pronounce her last name Dushku, or Dushku. They gave her $9.5 million, and she sued them because uh, because they wrote her off the show because she complained about the star of the show was harassing her, sexually harassing her. So, I don't know what's going on with CBS, but CBS done lost its charm in a lot of ways, and they better come back to where they used to be because no telling what might happen with them. Wisconsin, oh my goodness, Wisconsin, man. Walker just signed a sweeping lame duck bill, the GPO, to eliminate the power of the governor and the secretary of state. A lot of things, they put in that bill which harm them, but hopefully, they was talking about they're going to sue and all that. So by the time they get through doing all the suing and everything, they've already done their damage. But that's going to be a challenge for Wisconsin, and so we'll see what's going to happen there. One of the things that what's been going on here in the Tampa area, Hillsborough County, is water. They are doing some things that are pretty dangerous here in Hillsborough County. What they're doing is they're basically taking sewage water and they're putting it in the reservoir, but they're supposed to clean it up first, then they're going to put it back. So this is all wastewater, and they're going to put it back into the reservoir after they so-called clean it up. And we know that wastewater, people, all kind of medication go in there, sewage stuff, all kinds of waste, whatever, and then they're going to put it back so people can drink it. And politically speaking, the mayor here in Tampa, who's on his way out eventually, he's going along with it because he's got some kind of deal. I guess these water people or people that's backing him had been wanting him to do this so that they can get some money or whatever. It's very political, and there are people are trying to make people aware of it because this is some dangerous stuff. This makes a lot of people sick. The water is not clean. Some people can make mistakes by sending water through, and you're going to be drinking nasty water. So another thing that's going on is a federal judge just struck down the ACA, what they call as the Obamacare, ruling that is mandate requiring people to buy health insurance. So he struck that down because he says it's unconstitutional. And right now, the Affordable Care Act is really not as people are not really buying it like they did last year. And one of the reasons why I think they're not buying it is because of the fact that 45 deliberately stopped doing the advertising, which they had set aside $10 million. We did a show on it. And and then stopped a lot of these networking things. They cut the funds. So it's a lot of people that, because usually, people don't think about, they want their health care, but then it's sort of kind of, you got to be sold on it and you got to be, you got to hear about it on TV and what have you. So people can say, oh, yeah, let me get this insurance. Because they sort of kind of, because most of us, might see the doctor only once a year and for a physical. But this is serious business. That's going to affect a lot of people because it's going to be a lot of people that's not going to have insurance. And then they're going to get this garbage insurance and they're going to find out cheaper insurance or Cadillac insurance, and they're going to find out that they're not going to be covered on a lot of things. And one of the big things is that, if you got pre-existing, that means your insurance, you go to a regular insurance company, or you're not under the Affordable Care Act, then what's going to happen is that because you got pre-existence, where you pay $800 a month, now you got to pay $1,400 a month for a family of four or whatever. So that's going to cost a lot of money. My last story here is the Wall Street Journal had posted a story about the street is they are baffled. They battering the thing that's versus China right now because of this trade war. And for some reason, Ed, they are, I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it, but one thing for sure is that some of these people are profiting, but at the same time, some of them are being cautious because of different sectors of the stock market. Because what's happening is that some of these people are being cautious, some of the people are taking profit, but because of these tariffs, the trade wars, they don't know how to respond because one minute you got China saying that, okay, in the car sector, we're gonna decrease the tariffs, and then on certain other things, what's going to happen is they're going to increase. Then you got this problem with with this high tech lady who's the CEO of this company. That
she's not the CEO; she's the CFO.
CFO.
Mm-hmm.
She is. They got her on this sort of like under lock and chain, and then China turns around and arrests a diplomat there. So Pompeo is trying to come in on the deal, trying to ask China to release their diplomat, the Canadian diplomat. So it's a lot of stuff going on there because, and it's shaking up. It's not only shaking up United States, it's shaking up Canada, it's shaking up all over the country, all over the world. Because of this thing, So we'll see. I don't know what's going on, and but that's all I got right now. What you got? Because I want to talk about this rural. I want to have a discussion about this rural America because that's a big deal. We came from, even though we moved from the big city, we lived in rural America too as well.
Well, the first thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm going to go over some of the things that you talked about because I got some comments on them.
Go ahead.
This water treatment that you guys are talking about there is going on in Tampa, Hillsborough County. Well, actually, Ted, that's how they treat your water in the first place. Your water is... all of our water systems are treated the same way. They take your waste that comes in from your waste sewage system and stuff, and they take that water and they treat it, and then they put it back into your system again. Because if they didn't do this, you wouldn't have any water, because your major water sources and stuff and everything could not handle a total thing where your fresh water comes in and you get fresh water back into your system. So what they're doing there in Tampa and stuff is being done all over the country. I just want you to know that, and they do treat the water very well. It depends on what kind of chemicals and stuff they put in there and everything. They do whatever, but that's part of waste treatment, man. What they're doing there in Tampa, they're doing that all over the country. So just want you to know that. Wisconsin.
No, wait. Oh. Now, this was the commissioner. She's in the water. She's a water commissioner. She said that is not necessary because Hillsborough County has plenty of fresh water. So she was saying that this does not need to be done. Plenty of fresh water. Just wanted to let you know that's the reason why it was a big deal, because they didn't want this to happen. She doesn't want this to happen because it's not necessary. We got plenty of fresh water. That's
Well,
all.
I'm just letting
That's
you
that
know
was the
that
host.
I'm just letting you
Oh, I'm
know
aware of that.
that they do
I'm
this.
aware of that.
They do this. In a lot of treatment plants, they treat they waste and then they put it right back into their fresh water system. That's going on. You know,
Yeah, I'm aware.
in a lot of places all over the country. Because I I know about this because that was my profession and stuff when I was actually out there working in the corporate world, and I dealt with waste treatment and stuff and everything. So it's it's happening. Getting to the Wisconsin thing, everybody's getting excited and stuff about them reducing these powers and stuff. Of they also doing it in Michigan also. Their Republican legislature and everything is doing the same thing. But each one of them and stuff has a different scenario and everything and stuff to it. If you notice that the new elected governor and the newly elected attorney general and stuff hasn't got online and really raised a roof about what they're doing. Now some of the people have, they came to the Wisconsin and they've been into the state building and all this stuff doing the same thing they did about 3 or 4 years ago and stuff when they tried to get Governor Walker and stuff out of power, and he was coming in and changing all the things and taking away workers' rights and all that. Well, Ayers and stuff, who was the governor, he hasn't really raised a whole lot of ruckus and stuff about it because they have a big ace in the hole. During the last election that they had there in Wisconsin, they put on a young lady and stuff who is on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, which gave them an edge and stuff on the Supreme Court. So they're expecting and everything that once they go through this movement of whatever they're trying to do and everything, that is it's going to fall apart because all they're going to do is just bring the case and stuff before the Wisconsin Supreme Court, and they're going to strike that stuff down anyway. And they're pretty sure what's going to happen. They just doing this stuff and everything for their own. I don't know, they big show or whatever. I don't know. Michigan doing the same thing. I don't know how Michigan's going to turn out, but I think with Wisconsin and stuff, they're going to throw that stuff right out and they're going to go right back to what they've been doing. So they won't be able to do anything. But there's also a dynamic going on in Wisconsin that even though they have the governor and attorney general and stuff in there, the Republicans and stuff still hold power and stuff in the legislative branch of the government. So no matter what happens and stuff there and everything, the new governor Ayers and stuff is still going to have a big problem and stuff there because he doesn't have the Democratic votes and stuff and everything to help him to enact a lot of his things that he wanted to do and things that he wanted to do for the people of Wisconsin. So they have a long-term problem and stuff that's getting ready to happen here because they gerrymandered that state and everything to where the Republicans and stuff and everything is going to always maintain control of the legislature and stuff until they do that redistricting and stuff they're inside the state and everything to stop that. So they still have a big problem going on and stuff there, and they have a lot of things that they're going to have to do to get that state back in line to where it was 10 years ago. So it's going to be a big fight, but there's no matter what they do with the governorship and everything, the Republican legislators don't have enough votes and stuff to override the governor's veto. So there's going to be a nip and tuck and stuff there in that whole state there for a while until they get the redistricting and stuff back together and stuff after the 2020 census and stuff happen. And how they deal with that, I don't know. But the governor there still has a lot of power that he can wield and stuff inside that state. And So it's going to be a long term mess and stuff there. So we can look forward to having a big fight and stuff there in Wisconsin. Hopefully, the people and stuff there who have put the governor in office and everything is going to have a little patience and everything and stuff with him, that he is not going to be able to do everything that they want him to do and stuff, and that they have a long fight ahead of themselves. Now, in Texas, where the federal judge struck down the Affordable Care Act is unconstitutional, it's probably going to be fought and stuff, and everything is going to be appealed up the ladder and stuff into the district courts and stuff and everything. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to probably strike his decision and stuff down too, because the way he put forth his decision and stuff and everything, he used the fact that they got rid of the payments and stuff and everything. When they first did the Affordable Care Act, what they did was that they made people and stuff who were young, who didn't have insurance coverage and stuff and everything, to pay into the system. So right. The system that was struck down by the Supreme Court, but they kept the Affordable Care Act in place because of that. Well, his ruling and stuff says that because they took that mandate and stuff out, that it made the whole Affordable Care Act invalid, unconstitutional, which I'm pretty sure that they're going to strike that down. Even the White House knows that that's not going to fly, because they even came back and said that they're going to continue, with the Affordable Care Act just the way it is, and they're not going to bother at all, because his ruling and stuff and everything doesn't make any sense. Because if that was the case and stuff, the Supreme Court would have struck the whole Affordable Care Act down as unconstitutional and everything, when they took away that mandate that that people didn't have to pay pay that money into the insurance fund. So I wouldn't worry about that. That's just some mess out there that's going on. What else here? You you talked about CBS and those women that they're paying money and everything to. Well,
20 million.
Yeah, well, one of the people and stuff out there was Les Movaes and stuff and everything. There was a woman and stuff who filed a claim against him also, who got some money and stuff out the deal. But I guess when you start talking about this stuff and everything, and then paying all this money out and everything, the money is probably not actually coming out of CBS's pocket. They have insurance premiums and stuff out there and everything. They're probably paying that money out. So, it's a man. It's a standard and stuff out there. You might want to say that that's going on all around the country. So it's this thing and stuff with CBS, and I'm pretty sure there's some other companies out there that's going to be paying some more money out. Fox is still paying money out to women and everything also, but they haven't been such a big deal and stuff out there with them. But they're still paying money out to women because of them being harassed, sexually harassed and stuff in the workplace. So we got a big problem and stuff out there. Big problem out there.
I was listening to a show yesterday or Thursday, and I was listening to some of the callers. We have what we call an alternative radio station, and they were talking on the show. I forget the name of it, but it was very interesting. And there were a lot of white men calling in saying, "I just hope they the women let the women run the show now." That was saying like that was the theme. These white men was calling talking about let them run the show now. Let Pelosi run the show, and let we need more congresswomen, or we need this and what have you. And I was just trying to figure this out. Because most of those women, they go to bed with white men. So, but when when you look at it, though, when you're talking about equality and all that, you know, women are what, 51, 52% of the population or something like that? And so, and and the thing is that if we're talking about equality, then it should be equality. I mean, people. That's why so many women uh, ran for office. Because they realize in politics that's where the power is. Because you have power to do policy. You have power to bring people up to D.C. and discuss why are you discriminating against women or why are you discriminating against people of color, uh, and sort of kind of call these people on the carpet. So, they deal, in a way, they deal with a lot more serious issues than all this. You scratch my back, crony capitalism, you know, and uh, and a lot of women want to do universal health care because I think that's really needed, and that's just my own personal opinion because you got too many people out there that's uninsured. So we'll see. Like it's a big movement, and it's really taken off, and and women of color are running for office too as well. They're running for all kinds of local things as well. So I think the term is people are woke now, and they realize that if you want change, you got to be involved. You have to be engaged, and that's a good thing. And you can't, and people, women aren't taking that mess no more about all this sexism and all that crap, you know. So
Well, speaking of the Speaker of the House and everything, I remember I said and stuff on this show maybe a week ago that even though these folks were sitting out there fighting against Nancy Pelosi, and I knew for a fact that Nancy was going to win the speakership. It wasn't going to be no problem. And as we can see now, this past week, she eliminated the last of her resistance and everything to becoming the Speaker of the House. So it's a given and stuff now, and they can stop writing in the news media and stuff that she's not going to win. So it's it's kind of
done
strange.
deal.
Yeah, it's kind of strange that they did that. All their major headlines and stuff were talking about her, and she ain't gonna do this, she ain't gonna do that, and didn't even take into account and stuff that when Paul Ryan became the Speaker of the House and everything, he had the same problem and even worse. But she's now eliminated all those opposition to her speakership and everything because the woman is, she's a politician and she knows how to weave her way through the halls and stuff of the Capitol building. So they need to watch out and stuff for her. I know that in that meeting that she had with, on Tuesday with President Trump, that they were kind of talking over her, a little bit, but
Hmm.
they're going to have to deal with that woman and everything because she's very, very astute and everything, and she knows how to get stuff done. So I expect her to be a person and stuff of interest and stuff for the next 2 years and stuff there in the House and in trying to get things and stuff done and everything because she's a politician, buddy. She knows how to wield her power, and if she needs some votes done, she can get them. Because as we can see now and everything, she told Trump and everything that he doesn't have the votes and stuff in the House. He don't have the votes in the House. Yes, I do. I do. I have the votes in the House. But he doesn't have them for what
No,
he
we don't.
wants. He doesn't have them. And she told him that. This woman knows what's going on there in the halls of Congress. She knows about what the Republicans got and what she got. She knows where power is at and where power ain't. And it's not like she just sitting there as a white figurehead and stuff. This woman and stuff is very astute. She's very knowledgeable about politics, and she knows exactly what the heck is going on and how to get stuff done. So it would behoove President Trump and the Republicans now that since she has gotten into the speakership again, that they need to kind of hold themselves back and say, "Hey, Madam Speaker, we we need your help," because if they ask her and she says she can get it done, she's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, they're playing that woman cheap, and they shouldn't be doing that. You don't play Nancy Pelosi cheap. Now you've got some other women and stuff there who are coming up there in Congress. I'm looking at this young lady and stuff who's 29 years old, the youngest congressman and stuff to come in there. The lady out of New York, Alexandria Ocasio, or whatever her name is.
Cortez.
Yeah, she's I don't know what's going to happen to her, man. I think she has bitten off a little bit more than than she can handle, and I think she's coming in there with a lot of expectations and stuff and everything. And then I hope that Nancy pulls her chain and stuff and everything and get her up under her wing and tell her, "Hey, baby girl, slow down," cause what you doing and everything and stuff, you're bringing a lot of fire and stuff on top of you and everything, and because you are young and everything, these people they're gonna be devastating on you, and you're gonna have to find your niche and stuff and kind of stay there and everything, because there's a lot of power here and everything, and you ain't gonna come in here and upset that power. But
Well, hey, think about this though. I think she wants to be a rebel in the system to bring up issues that are concerning the people. Now, what you're saying is absolutely correct, and however, she wants to be a voice, and she know how she got elected because she went out there and she spoke to hundreds and thousands of people, and sat at their kitchen table, went out knocking on doors. That's how she got elected, and she heard these people. She listened to these people, so she know what their issues are, and she's got them in the back of her mind, man. And so I think, what you're saying is absolutely right. She should go ahead on it and get in with Speaker Pelosi, but at the same time, you need those voices. You need those people, because a lot of those women that went in there, they went out to the street. They actually went out and talked to people. They didn't have a whole lot of dollars like a lot of these old politicians, and just sent out flyers and advertise and sent out a few people. So I'm hoping that she keeps her voice, but yeah, she might need to tone it down a little bit. But she got to be herself, and if this is herself, and this is what she feels that she has to do to get attention, that's fine, and she's got the courage to do it.
but the attention that she is getting and stuff here, it has nothing to do with her district. It has everything to do with national politics, and she's a representative and stuff in the House. And if you notice, all the rest of those women and stuff and everything, they haven't got up on no bully pulpit and everything and screaming and hollering and doing the things that she's doing and stuff there and acting arrogant and stuff as far as coming in and stuff there into that house. And you're not going to get a whole lot of things done and stuff if you are sitting there hollering and screaming and everything and using your supposedly bully pulpit.
And she was against Pelosi, right? She was against Pelosi.
Yeah,
She
she
didn't.
started out. She started out against her, but she finally
Yeah.
realized that she better hang in there with her and everything, and she realized what she was doing. But when you get the news media and stuff putting the spotlight up on you constantly all the time, they're going to find all kind of dirt, all kind of mess and everything and stuff against you. and they're going to use that stuff to beat her down. So sometimes you need to, yes, have a voice and stuff there, and she does have a voice and stuff coming out of her district there in New York. But her concern and stuff and everything should be with the people and stuff in her district and stuff. And you're going to be talking and everything, and not into national politics and stuff yet. She's reaching herself out there into the sphere that she has no business and stuff being in. She's not that big, and eventually there she's not going to get anything done because she's out there taking on a lot more than she can chew, or a lot more than the system and stuff would allow you to handle at one time. So I'm hoping that she kind of tones herself down, get with some of those organizations and stuff, some of those women and stuff and everything, and start having a big voice, because you can't do it in the Congress and stuff and everything by yourself. She has to find allies and stuff there who's going to go along with her. Now she does have a backing and stuff of Bernie Sanders and stuff and everything, but Bernie has a unique power and stuff out there, and I don't believe that she understands that power that he has, that uniqueness and stuff with his power. And she needs to do a little bit more studying and stuff of what the heck is happening and stuff out there before she stands herself out there. That's just my personal opinion and stuff about what's going on, because she's a young girl and stuff and everything, and she needs to, get herself back to. I hate to say the word place, but but it's actually that, get back into your sphere and
She
stuff.
needs to stay in her own lane.
Where stay in your lane where where you can wield a lot more power. Because if you get outside your lane and stuff, your power dwindles and you become a spectacle and everything, and then you don't get things done. And that's where she became a spectacle and everything, and it's not good how they're treating her. Because when you start talking about a woman and how she walking down and she don't have clothes to wear and all that other stuff and everything, you getting into little nitpicky little stuff and everything. Yeah. Those are personal things and stuff, and it has nothing to do with politics. You don't see people talking about, if Nancy Pelosi got this dress on or she don't have that dress on and all the other stuff and everything. They're not talking about her dress. They're talking about her politics. So, and that's what her thing should be on, not on how she looks as she's walking down the halls of Congress and stuff and everything, and trying to find her in office. Because you know what, a freshman coming in, especially with her and everything, she gonna get one on a little bitty old back.
Low pop. She's a low totem pole.
Yeah, she on the low on the totem pole, baby girl, and they're gonna.
She might be in the basement up.
Absolutely, they're gonna put you in the basement, way down in the deep and stuff, because you opening your daggone mouth and talking.
Take you 30 minutes to get upstairs.
Absolutely, and her constituents can't even find her office and stuff. So, hey, baby girl, you got an office and stuff in there, and it's full of mess and everything, and she can't get anything done because these people are looking at her and everything and say, yeah, you talking all this smack, you find out how to get through this stuff. There's a lot of nuances and stuff there and getting things done there in Congress, and there's a lot of people out there who can help you, and if you piss them off and everything, they're going to sit back and everything and just watch you fall. So it's she needs to realize and stuff and everything that like we said, get into that lane, baby girl, and control your lane, and shut your mouth and figure out where the power is at before you open it up. So anyway,
I think maybe a lot of it, she felt as though she had to let the constituents know that, hey, I'm still here.
She has. She has to let them know she beat that man down who was in power.
And, did. A Democrat.
A Democrat. And what it goes to show you and stuff, and what she needs to probably bring about and everything is to beat that drum and stuff, to say, hey, this is what I did, because the Democrats and stuff are not speaking to the people, like you said. She went around and did all this stuff, and he figured that because he'd been in power so long and he'd moved up that ladder and stuff in the Democratic, hierarchy, that he could just and he was taking his seat for granted. And she needs to open that door up and say, hey, you can't take you see what happened to him. You can't take what you're doing out there for granted. We need to speak to the needs and stuff of the people and stuff out there in our district or whatever. And that's her voice and stuff out there, letting folks know how she did what she did, helping people to get elected and try to do some things and stuff for her district, get some monies and stuff in her district and stuff that's going to help her folks. And you get money and stuff and everything by playing the game. You don't get money out there by sitting down there and trying to beat up
your own party.
beat the establishment down. They're going to show us, hey, baby girl, you won, but you can't get nothing done until you understand and stuff who has the power and stuff here.
Settle down
in this place up here. So settle down, and we gonna give you a few dollars to send back to your district. So anyway, that's my thing. One thing I wanted to get into and stuff before we end this thing, because we got a few more minutes and stuff to go here, but I don't know if anybody realizes stuff that the Department of Education had to give back $150 million of student debt, and they forced Bessie to divulge and everything to do this and everything, but it doesn't affect.
Oh, that's only half of it.
That ain't even half. That's like a little smidgen and stuff of what's going on out there. But anyway, the fact that she had to do that and that the courts and stuff forced her to give those relieve those students debts and stuff out there for a lot of students and stuff and everything who had gone to this college, and they had been ripped off. So
yeah,
it is.
Hey, we only got a few more minutes. I just want to run. This is very dear to me because even though you and I moved from Chicago and we moved out to the country in the rural America, and we experienced this kind of thing to a certain degree. The big thing right now is in rural America and small towns, it has been declining for years, but it has really declined now because of manufacturing. Now, according to the New York Times, 60 million people are living on farms in small towns. There are less than 13 million Americans working in manufacturing. And the reason why is because of robots, and China manufactures most of our goods that we buy. So right now, the big push right now, these high-tech industries are trying to bring some relief because manufacturing basically has gone out the window as far as that goes in the rural America. 'Cause years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago, that was the big thing in rural America. Small towns had their manufacturing company, and that was the big employer right then. And a lot of these manufacturing companies that shipped themselves over to other countries, especially China. So now they're calling them tech hubs. These technology companies they can't help all of these small towns and what have you, but they're creating training for these people. But and to be blunt, this economy, it needs highly educated people to do these types of high-tech jobs. And one of the things, you might can speak on this, because technology is consistently always changing. I mean, it can change in 6 months, it can change in a year, it might last 2 years, it might last 3 years. So you got to always constantly be educating yourself to keep up with new technology. So, but the relief is, and the goal is for some of these tech companies to, to come on in and help rural America, because these small towns are they just going to waste. They just people are leaving. There's no jobs there. That's the reason why you have this academic of drug use, alcohol use. You have all these different things, crime. So the small towns in the rural America are hurting. I mean, really hurting. People really don't know how bad it is out there for a lot of these people out there, because when you used to making 50, $75,000 a year or whatever, working for a manufacturing company, all of a sudden it's gone. Now what do you do? Because that's all you've done. That's all you've done. Worked on the line for 15 years, and now all of a sudden you don't have a job. You don't have anything to go to. You know, you might have didn't like the job or love the job, but you had a job and you was able to take care of your family. So now it has to be a different mindset, because the jobs now are high tech. That's where the jobs are. So that's a sad situation when you're talking about over 50 million people, and they have lost their income. And most of these jobs now, they in the big cities. These high tech companies, they all in the big city, and a lot of people are doing very well working on for these high tech companies. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to small town. And that's a big segment of America. And farming right now is going through some changes too as well. So that's one of the things that I think that uh, that should be addressed by these politicians.
Well, I think, and I've been sitting here listening to you and everything about what's going on out there in these small towns and what's going on, and the fact that they have these little small businesses and stuff and everything that they have and stuff inside each one of these little towns. There's probably still some where you got people who work on cars and stuff and everything, automotive stuff. Somebody has to work on the farm equipment and stuff out there, and something breaks down
They
out
have
there with
restaurants.
their machinery. You got a lot of folks and stuff out there who have repair shops and stuff and everything. You have folks out there who are dealing with building and everything in the construction industry, and in the building roads and bridges and stuff like that. And I think and stuff, Ted, that once they enact this infrastructure program and stuff and everything, that you're going to put a lot of money and stuff out there into local folks' hands, even out there in the rural areas and stuff and everything. You start building some of these roads and bridges, because once they start doing that, you're going to start putting money and stuff back into the pockets and stuff of the people out there in the rural communities. Because back when we were going on, they had a lot of stuff going on out there. They were building these roads and bridges and stuff. And because they were doing that, other people had other jobs and stuff out there that they can deal with, because the
They
money,
can spin off.
because
Yeah.
there was a spinoff there. People spin off. Once you throw that rock and stuff into the river or the lake or whatever, and everything, that ripple effect and everything is going to affect a whole lot of people and stuff out there. And I think if they start working on that infrastructure thing, that they will start doing it, because everybody and stuff is not going to be into technology and building robots and stuff like that. And and I know both and stuff that because we talked about trade schools. Everybody is not going to be college graduates. There are trade schools and stuff out there for them to do other things, like being electricians and stuff, being plumbers and stuff like that. So, if you start spending some money and stuff and everything, infrastructure and everything, I think it's going to create a lot of jobs and stuff out there for a lot of people out there in those rural communities and stuff and everything, because you're doing that, because roads have to go through those rural communities and stuff also. Also, when Obama was in office, he started talking about that smart grid and stuff, building up our electrical grid, building up our internet systems and stuff out there. Because if you go out there to a lot of rural communities and stuff, man, they don't have high speed internet and stuff there. They barely able to do
Some
anything.
of the people got
Yeah,
dial-up
yeah,
still.
yeah. They sitting up there with dial up and everything still going on. They still got rotary phones that are probably inside the house and everything. And most people now got cell phones and stuff because they don't have the capabilities of having it. I know that in our community that we used to raise up in, man, I went out there and man, my cell phone don't work.
Yeah.
I drive, as soon as I get out there in the area, my cell phone goes out. I can't make a call. I can't do anything and stuff with it. So they are being starved and stuff for technology, because we have not expanded our technology and stuff, the methods of technology and stuff out there into those rural areas and stuff, and expose them to the technology that's going on and stuff nowadays. So until we do that and everything, we cannot expect them to be aware and stuff of all the other things that we are aware of and stuff out here. And that's, high tech stuff that's going on and what's happening, because a lot of them are sitting out there and they have no idea what's going on. And like I said, we have cell phones now that's going on, but they can't. Cell phone does not work. They have to have a home, a landline in their home, because
Yeah.
their cell phones are not working, or they're barely able to get a signal and stuff out there in those little rural areas. And it's going on all over. So we need to build up our infrastructure. And once we start building the infrastructure up and everything, I think the offshoot of more jobs and more quality workers and stuff out there will become more prevalent and stuff out there and stuff for us. So we have to give these rural communities and stuff access to the technology that we have in the inner city. And if we
Well,
do that,
the number one thing that Speaker Pelosi said, and I remember her saying this while she was sitting down there, is infrastructure.
hmm
And so you're right. So that's the one thing where you can help a lot of these rural Americans, because there are people, I mean, to say it in a very as nice as I can say it, the reason why a lot of these people voted for 45, they thought that he cared, that he he cared about them, and he was going to do something,
hmm
to make it better, bring in more manufacturing. But we know, I know, AT, you know, is that's I what is it, IA or AI?
AI.
That AI is going to be um, what they call it. The name of it, AI, is artificial intelligence, which is robots, and which is people, things they can do without humans. That's taken over. So it's not the same, as far as that goes, because you can have a factory and you can have robots or automatic, you can have intelligence there, and all you need is 20 workers instead of 100 workers, because they can do most of the work, the labor. So the point is that, and that means when you are specially trained, these jobs, these people are making six figures, a lot of them. The ones that know how to program and do all these different types of things, they're making big dollars, you know. So, but like we said, everybody can't be in high tech. Everybody don't want to be in high tech. But
Well,
those things are spinoffs.
well, there's a fallacy and stuff out there and stuff, Ted, about high tech and what's going on. And we have a perfect example and stuff of that when we spoke about Elon Musk
Hmm.
and his Tesla plant. He had all those robots and stuff sitting out there to do all the work, and he wasn't producing anything. So he had to turn around and take them robots away and put people there. So,
Mm.
and so a lot of times and stuff and everything, when you start talking about these robots completely taking over folks' jobs. You have to have a lot of people out there who are capable of dealing with those robots, because those robots gonna break down.
Hmm.
So they're, other than programming and stuff and everything, you have to have somebody out there who understands how to get that arm to working and get that thing back, that arm back to doing what it's supposed to be doing, and be able to. And so that's manual labor that's doing that, trying to get that robot arm back working, or trying to take it and adjust that arm and stuff and everything so it goes into the right spot and everything when you get it done. Because even though the robot is programmed to do that, it's only programmed to do what man put programs it to do. And along with the programming and stuff and everything, they are mechanical instruments, or mechanical pieces of machinery, and those things have to be worked on also. So there's still jobs and stuff out there, even though the AI is coming. You still have manual jobs and stuff out there. So anyway, one other thing I wanted to bring up before we had to get out of here, our first lady, real first lady, her book, her book has went over 3 million copies sold.
Shut up. Are you kidding
2
me?
months. Three
Are you kidding me? 3 million.
3 million copies
Boy, those people knew what they were doing, boy,
in two
when they
months.
signed her.
In 2 months. So
That book is
if you,
selling for almost $30.
I know, but she done sold over 3 million copies, and she is still on her book tour, and her book tour is going to be lasting until next year sometime, and she's planning on, and they have overseas presentations and stuff for her book and everything. So she's going outside this country. Matter of fact, I think she was outside the country when George H.W. Bush passed away, and she had to stop her book tour overseas and come back for the funeral. So they have so many cities and stuff and everything that she's going to be in, and her schedule and stuff is tight all the way out until almost 2020
Well,
because of that book.
so
So
so so
you know,
she got potential to sell about 10 million,
absolutely. She's sold 3 million in less than 2 months. So, but
and it's
anyway,
gonna be a lot of people buying them books for Christmas.
absolutely, they're buying them and stuff and everything. I see them all in the grocery stores and stuff right now and everything. I was in Kroger's and stuff last week and everything. I saw one of our copies of her book and stuff there. But I like digital copies and everything, so I'm pretty sure once they finish with the book, they're gonna start getting those digital copies out. But anyway, if you, I kind of looked at that and I smiled and everything when I saw that. I said, Michelle is out there, got her book out there, and she's doing real well, damn well. So I can imagine B.O., he's probably sitting there up into his little small cubby hole and everything, putting his book together and everything, because you don't want Michelle to outdo him.
Hey, he out there, trying to stay relevant. I see that, he out there, he on Facebook and
Yeah,
talking and stuff,
he
but
trying to.
Michelle got him beat, bro.
Michelle weighing him out right
She all
now.
on the TV show.
She
She's
weighing
all over everybody's TV show. They interviewing.
everybody's show. She got her own little book, and every time she goes to any book tour, she got wherever she stops at, the place is packed. But that's in contrast and everything and stuff, Ted, to Bill and Hillary.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
because
they got their little old show
oh
going
my
on
goodness,
out there, man. They
oh
out
my
there,
goodness, man, they was in
man.
a big arena, Ed.
They
They
can't
can't get
even.
nobody.
They can't get nobody to follow them to see what that. So they became irrelevant real quick. And the Obamas is taking up that space now. So
Yeah, yeah, and well, hey, they've done their job, whether you think it was good or bad, and at a certain age and a certain time, you need to move on, go on somewhere else, go on
hmm
and do what you do. You got enough money. Both of them, I think she's worth quite a few millions, and he's worth quite a few millions. So
absolutely.
just go and do your thing.
And they still have the Clinton initiative and stuff going on out there. They're still out there making money and doing things and stuff out there. So hey, I guess the American public and everything has showed them that their time is gone, and they need to get out their way and everything, and that the Obamas and stuff and everything now are taking up their space. So hopefully they realize what's going on, because I noticed that they started their tours out there, so they're getting these tour promoters and stuff and everything are putting their tours and stuff into smaller venues, so it makes it look like they're getting full. But when you book a venue and stuff for 3,000 people, and you only got 500 folks, 500 folks inside the building and stuff there and everything, man, it ain't doesn't look very well and stuff out there when you take a picture of the audience and who wants to listen to what you have to say. So whatever they got to say, that's not what folks are concerned about and stuff nowadays. So hopefully Bill and Hillary and stuff get it and find their little niche out there and say, hey, just like the Carters and stuff did, they relevant all that. So O'Carter and his wife, they go out there and they build homes and stuff for poor people, and that's their little niche they got out there. So they need to find their little niche and stay there, because they need to go out. They probably can't build homes like Jimmy can, but at least they can find something else that they can do and stuff that they are relevant and stuff in, or allow their daughter and stuff and everything to come out there and do something and stuff for them. So they need to go back and regroup and find something. So anyway, we're about to end, Mr. Harvey. We at 1 hour and 52 minutes and stuff in there, 52 seconds. So we are over our time, and I hope that everybody out there have a Merry Christmas. I know Mr. Harvey and his wife and stuff are going out there now and doing Christmas shopping and everything for all the grandkids and the kids and all that, and spending that money. I hope they can afford it. And don't spend too much, like we telling our audience not to do. Ted, don't spend your money out there. You tell your wife, hey, Bev, hold up now. We want to keep this thing in line so we can pay these bills and stuff by at least February.
Yeah, the thing is, man, I've never been a big holiday person. I'm really not. But the thing is that when you're around family, that's all that matters to me. Even while everybody eating, enjoying what they like to do, and people talking to each other and loving up on each other, and that's all. To me, that's all that matters. It ain't about gifts or nothing like that. Because in my mind, what's the reason for the season? That's where I feel about it. So we have a tradition at our home every year on the holidays. What I do is I read the Christmas story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether you believe in Jesus or not, anybody that's out there, but that's your prerogative. But that's a great story, and I think that the holidays is for family, it's for spiritual things. So just enjoy, and don't let it stress you out. I don't let it stress me out, because I ain't out there.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I ain't out there.
Well, I'm not planning on buying no whole lot of gifts, Mr. Harvey. And to our audience out there, we have a lot of grandkids, but I let their parents take care of their gifts and everything, because I took care of them when they were growing up, so now they can take care of theirs. So don't expect granddad and grandma to be out there buying a whole lot of gifts. But my thing and stuff is to help them to get themselves better. Like they said, you can't feed somebody, give them food and everything, teach them how to fish. So that's what I do. I give them, I say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to go out there and show you how to go to get you an education, or you have a problem, I'm going to show you how to get this thing done so you can take care of yourself. And I won't have to worry about you. Like I did mine and stuff. I taught them how to do what they need to do and everything, and gave them the education they needed and stuff to get out there and do what they need to get done. So now they're out there, and hey, my job is done unless they need come out there and say, hey, Dad, what about this or what about that? And I'll give them my advice and everything. If they take it, it's fine. If they don't take it, it's fine.
Yep. There you go. Simple as that.
Yeah. Anyway, people, we are at the end of our show, and we will see you on our new format. That would be what? Tuesday, Thursday,
And Saturday.
and Saturday now. So we got 3 days now, people. 3 days. We got 3 days instead of 2. We got 3 days. Anyway, see you guys on Tuesday. Bye bye.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you wanna ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I get more emotions. All you gotta do is focus, not the chills to but you like it. But you like it. Ooh, yeah. I've been out here looking for you. Just something special, man.
Get up on my roller coaster, get inside my aeroplane. I can take you places, baby.